Yo, what up, GG Nation? GG Legion. It's your fella again, Straussman, the GG. And welcome to another episode of Anime Time. And we brought back, as usual, he's always my co-host on Anime Time. My buddy, my bro.
That's what happens when I'm the only one who watches anime.
A lot of you guys do, and you guys are really appreciating Anime Time. Definitely post your suggestions down below. I definitely have a few I really want to talk about because they deal with what we do every day in about video games, and I think it's such an interesting.
Okay.
So we'll get to that, but definitely post your comments down below. We appreciate all the love, Chad and I.
I might have to go on an anime streaming binge this next week because Levi wants me to watch like 6 new shows. So.
I definitely want him to watch at least one, and we'll talk about it in another video because I finished watching it and I love it because it deals what we do with in video games. And it's a different aspect. It's not SAO type where oh my god, your life's on the line. We're trapped in a video game.
It's the best kind.
It's actually just about video games and learning.
Who doesn't like sword art?
And I like that, right? And I really appreciate you guys. We're gonna hit 5,000 really soon. Maybe even today, probably tomorrow.
Get it to today, fellas.
And
ladies,
we on the channel. It really just means a lot to me. I know we talked about it all the time. Every video, but it really does. I mean, the 10 seconds, whatever, the 10 minutes, the 5 minutes you watch, it all means a lot to me.
Every time he hits like one of those milestones, he sends me a text. Yo, I hit this many views. Yo, I hit this many views. Like, keep watching his videos.
It really means a lot, and all the guests that have been on the show, you guys have really, really helped me out. I really appreciate every single one of you. But today, we're going to talk about a really interesting one that everyone has a different opinion about.
It's craziness.
And it's called
Fooly
Cooly.
That we're talking about it is kind of insane because...
Unfortunately, it's like one of the few animes I don't own. I'm looking to pick it up.
That's what I was just going to say. We don't have a prop for you today. I'm sorry.
I have
nothing. We have nothing.
I have so many animes here. But
Which really, you really don't need anything from it. Just know that the chaotic mess of what this show is...
It's a cult phenomenon, though, right? Wouldn't you say so? Like, it's coming... They're going to have a season 2 and 3.
Yes and no, just like
10 years later,
just like anything else you consider like a big like cult following or has a cult following, it hits with some people. Some people really just dislike it. Some people kind of take it for what it is at face value and just kind of run with it, watch it once, and they're just like, I have no idea what I just saw. It was cool, but I'll never watch it again. Like,
and.
I mean, I've seen it like 6 times, and I still don't know what the hell I'm watching half the time. So.
I gotta kind of agree with you. Everyone is gonna have their own opinion and their own take from the show. Sure. It's
not one of those animes that has a particular story to follow.
Yeah,
there's many different storylines you can
like
grasp
they try to weave it in there, but there's a lot of web to it, and it's what you want to take out of it.
It's
really
total chaos for what is 3 hours of television.
Yeah, like 6. Only 6 episodes became a cult phenomenon. A lot of people love Fooly Cooly, especially Haru right behind us,
and
her Vespa.
Most of the reason why we're talking about it now, because
it
being such a short show, you know, we've kind of stuck to shows that are a little longer so far.
Yeah, we switched it up a little bit, and Chad brought it up to my attention, and it was a good idea because Fooly Cooly is a big cultural,
it's a lot of fun.
It's a lot of fun, and a lot of people
fun to just kind of yap about for 10 minutes.
It's really interesting, and we're not going to talk about every single character in Anime Time.
We're only going to hit on maybe like a quarter of the show.
Yeah, maybe 3 or 4 of them.
And I don't even think we're going to get too deep into the stories because
we'll talk a little bit about, or at least our opinion.
The shallow ends of it, but you can't. We could spend days diving deep.
Yeah, and you know how Chad and I get when we talk about anime. Like, it's a lot longer.
How long did we talk about Akame last week?
Oh my god, I think it was like an
hour.
Like an hour and a half, I think we talked about. But you guys, a lot of you watched it and you really liked it and enjoyed it.
It's a good show.
We
a lot
really,
of people like the show.
I hope you guys, Anime Time is just to talk about shows we like, and hope you guys take a chance and, get out of your comfort zone and try it out. And see if you like it. And, that's why we want to take suggestions from you as well. So, let's get into the main character. In my opinion, the main one is Haru. And what do you think of... What's her name? Haru...
Good luck.
Haruko. So, double H there. Haruko. So, Haruko is basically the main female protagonist, I would say, of the show.
Yeah, you could say that.
Well, there's like 3 we're going to talk about. 2 females, 1 male, and then maybe Copper. We'll talk about the Copper.
We'll talk about
bushy brows. Bushy brows there.
Not guy sensei.
What do you think of Haru, and what do you think of her character, and what do you think of the portrayal of her character?
Think about what Haru even stands for, bro. She is the chaotic mess that is Fooly Cooly.
Yeah, she is. She definitely.
I mean, you think about how the show starts and how he kind of like explains how, Naruto explains how life is boring around here. Nothing really happens.
Yes, it opens up with that.
She comes out of nowhere riding the scooter, runs him over, and hits him in the
face. And he should have died. He should have clearly died.
It's anime, bro. No one dies.
So it's an interesting show because they take a lot of serious parts, but they have a lot of comedy parts. And they have a lot of,
I would say it's more like 65% comedy to 35% like kind of like real life. More heavy issues.
But I mean, like some rules don't seem to apply in this world. Like when she hits him on the head with the base.
You kind of get that right off the bat, where they kind of show the environment, and he explains what the Mechanica thing or whatever it is. Literally like a giant iron.
Yes, it literally. It's just like a giant.
It's like sitting in the middle of a town.
Yeah,
just blowing off smoke, and like this like. Explains how like all the older people are so excited about having this thing here, and like he's just like and nothing's going on here. Like
it's a small town.
It is what it is.
Very Persona 4, very small town. Everybody kind of knows each other. Everybody's in their own biz. And he's definitely really bored. Naoto, which is the other main protagonist,
seems like he's really bored.
He seems really bored, and he wants more excitement in his life. And
little does he know.
It happens for sure, big time, where just this girl changes his life completely. A lot in the wrong way, I would say.
For sure. Okay, a lot of people like to say this is a coming of age story or like a maturing story. Like this guy, Naruto's 11, 12, he's growing up, he's going through puberty. Like
discovering women.
I think she throws him more into a loop than he already was.
I agree too. I do agree though. I think it is a maturing part of the story because he's learning to figure. He's learning to figure himself out.
Like we said initially, like it depends on how you view.
Yeah, what you get out of it.
The first time you watch it, you're like if you cling to like if you find a viewpoint to cling on or like a plot line to cling on, do it, because trying to cling on to the next one you find might not hang around. It might not be a part of the next episode, but the coming of age story of Naruto kind of goes through the whole 6 episodes.
Yeah,
and that's probably the easiest storyline to follow.
My bad.
I think.
My bad. We'll put a pause really quick. I forgot to plug something, and I almost forgot it again.
Well, just plug it at the end.
And I just got a shout out to my buddy Ricky. He wanted me to plug this family game night. It's a board games, toys, and puzzles. They got Yu-Gi-Oh cards. If you live in the Florida area, South.
Is there a website for that?
Yes, it is.
Put it on the bottom.
I will definitely link it. I'll link all the stuff, all the contact info for them down at the bottom. There you go, Ricky. You asked and you shall receive. Let the gold shower all over you.
You're gonna get another one, bro. No.
Let the gold. Let the gold shower all over you. But they got Yu-Gi-Oh cards. They do Dungeons and Dragons. They got a whole bunch of games they play as well. They have a lot of fun nights. I heard it's a really fun store. Go check them out. Sorry. And then we'll go right back to Anime Time. I was going to forget it.
Smooth transition.
I was going to forget it. But I agree with you. You're saying Naruto's, he gets really messed up because of her. Well, he gets really confused.
Well,
for sure.
Now that we know there's a second and third season coming.
Yeah. But he's not going to be in it.
No, but that's the thing. Like, when you watch Fooly Cooly for the first time, you don't, like, I didn't know she was the main character. I didn't know Haru was the main character.
Like, she definitely seems like the side character. Yeah. But she's technically the main character.
No, she is. Like, the story revolves around her. It's her story trying to go about finding... Well, I don't even want to get into it because it's kind of like
it's long. It's very...
It's a can of worms about what she's trying to accomplish.
Yeah, she's not really...
It's hard to explain.
I wouldn't say she would have her best interests She has her best interest for herself.
For herself, but not for anybody else.
Not for the planet or anybody.
No, that's for sure. Nato just happened to be the,
because
Stargate of the whole thing.
Yeah, because he has the NO channel inside his head,
which is crazy.
Which means he can summon robots out of his head, which is super weird. But that's basically what she's kind of using him for. She doesn't really have too much of a attachment. It's so funny,
because that gets touched on so briefly, in the first episode when she slaps him on the face with the guitar, and that activates the thing.
Yeah, it does.
Then the rest of the episodes he has the bandage on his head because he kind of run, bro.
Yeah, kind of follow the hints of the storyline a little bit. She always tells Haru that she.
What do you mean? She always tells Nato?
Nato, sorry. Haru always tells Nato that, that his head works the best. So just kind of follow...
Which is so funny.
Just kind of follow that line.
That's so funny. I forgot about that, too.
It confuses the hell out of him.
Yeah,
it confuses... Because she's a beautiful girl.
Well,
they dress her up a lot.
She also...
There's a lot of, it's not too much,
even though she's technically not depending on Nato, she's definitely using him.
Mm-hmm.
And he doesn't see that because...
she's a 12-year-old boy. You don't know.
Kind of going out of her teens. I think she's 18, 19, going into her 20s.
She's 19 but
forever. She's stuck 19 forever too.
But they think she's much older than
Oh yeah, I'm sure. But she's an alien.
Yeah.
She could be as old as she wants.
Slight spoiler.
I don't even think that's a slight spoiler. If you didn't even catch that without watching this whole thing,
yeah, it's very true. It will. I'd say the first half of the show is very normal besides the robots, and then the second half gets really very especially when the police interstellar stuff it gets kind of throws you. They throw a lot at you.
So don't try the last two episodes are a crazy huge info dump.
It gets really crazy.
And just trying to
in the good ways and
there.
Bad ways.
Yeah.
I mean, the
pacing's great.
The pacing's actually really good. Really
6 episodes, and to cram all these little stories and to have all
different
that
perspectives
in each episode, it was really well done.
Every episode kind of has a moral to it as well. There's always kind of a lesson, kind of learning, very South Park-ish in some ways. South Park-ish in some ways. So let's talk about the probably final main character, or at least you see her the most out of everybody else, is Mahimi. What'd you think of Mahimi? The 70-year-old ditcher.
And you don't get this because she's kind of using Nato to get over her own problems.
The thing is, Nato's brother is a big baseball star. Yeah. He gets a scholarship to go to America, and obviously long distance usually doesn't always work.
Mm-hmm.
Most of it, I'd say 90% of the time, it doesn't work. You got to make it work, like anything. But she uses him, like you said, to make herself feel a little bit better.
To fill that void.
Because he's starting to look a lot like his brother.
Yeah, of course.
And
even though he doesn't want to be like his brother, at least he kind of says that.
He definitely doesn't want to be.
Well, you can kind of tell he does.
Well,
you're
right.
I just at the same time he doesn't have the ability to do so.
No, you're absolutely right. He doesn't want to admit that he wants to be his brother. He clearly does. He looks up to his brother a lot. He misses his brother.
He really does.
And apparently the whole town misses him.
Of course. But that causes part of his
regression.
His depression, regression, whatever you want. Because he's kind of stuck in this loop to where he doesn't like life as he sees it.
Yeah.
He thinks adults aren't cool.
Yeah.
He doesn't like authority.
Yeah.
He's very standalone. He's
trying to rebel.
Does his own thing.
He's trying to rebel.
So even having...
What's the big metaphor, though? That Nato can't do.
Oh.
That they... throughout the whole show.
We'll get into that here in a second.
Okay.
Because I think that kind of leads up to where...
Yeah.
Where, especially her character and Haru's character kind of
Yeah, very sure.
Eventually leads him.
Okay, we'll hold on to that a little bit. But I agree. She's definitely kind of using him.
For sure.
Just to make him feel better. I don't think she's doing it in a spiteful way.
No,
because she does find him cute.
Yeah, but she does hurt. She does eventually. She starts to realize that what she is doing is not only hurting him but hurting her.
Yes, and that's the thing. She's also a very big time loner as well. She's not going to class.
Her character's really strange and like
Yeah.
real deep because like
she's
just going
really
through
depressed.
going through her situation and like trying to think of everything like through her eyes. It is real depressing.
It's painful. It's
just
painful
trying to get over
scope,
you're a little younger than the man you supposedly loved or looked up to.
He leaves.
And he leaves, and you can't do anything about it. Like she's almost devastated, and she does find relief in Nato.
There's also a lot.
No matter how weird it kind of seems.
Yeah, because
it is really weird.
Yeah, because she's 17
Yeah.
and he's 12 or 13.
I think it's 12.
Like 12 or 13, yeah. And
11, 12,
he's discovering himself, and she's still kind of discovering herself a lot too.
Yeah,
like
what she actually wants, at least.
When she wants to, yeah. Because there's a lot of and that's why I think a lot of people like the show because they deal with a lot of tough situations in life, and that it's hard to face the truth.
Yeah.
It's really hard to face the truth a lot, and there's a lot of issues there's a lot of hints that she might have problems at home because she's not going home. She's washing in the pond. She doesn't go to school. She's made fun of at school.
Which is really weird.
Nato's friends always call him, his older wife. His older wife. And, which is really funny. It's really interesting, and he, as much as he doesn't want to brag about it, he kind of does. He kind of like, yeah, she is, she really likes me, blah, blah, blah. But, in a lot of ways, he doesn't know yet. He doesn't know love.
I don't think he does. I don't really think he wants her to, though.
I don't think so. I don't think he knows.
He knows. You can tell he knows. Like, the first line.
Well, I mean, I don't think he knows about love yet. I don't think he understands that.
He doesn't
That's
understand
a very...
But he knows what she's trying to do, because he even says it to her, like, in the first episode, like, why do you keep doing this?
Yes.
And she explains to him, like, well, I'll go crazy if I don't.
And she kind of has an issue of naming everything after his brother. Yeah, Takun. She calls him Takun, calls the cat Takun, calls the other machine Takun. Like, it's very interesting.
It's funny.
It is funny, and it's very interesting, and you can tell that she kind of has, she just really misses him.
Yeah, she does.
Greatly, to the point of depression, to the point where she's kind of hurting someone else. And herself the most, probably. To the point where she's kind of even really in the last episode. She kind of just disappears. We'll let you guys figure that out on your own. But
yeah, I kind of hope they close on a few of the open stories left from her and Nato
for season 2. I doubt it. I think
I
she's
don't
gonna
think
someone
they will.
else.
But no, I kind of hope they just touch on,
talk about it. Yeah, that'd be cool. That I would like that a lot.
Like the first 5 minutes,
or maybe
this happened in 10 years ago,
or Nato becomes the new bushy brow guy.
Oh no, that wouldn't happen, but that'd be funny
because she definitely has others, and the bushy brow guy definitely warns. I used to be this too, so be really careful.
I forgot.
But they all have the same.
He somewhat relates to Nato. Yeah, I kind of forgot that he does.
But his NO channel is very weak compared to Nato's is the best one she's ever had until probably season 2, where we'll find someone else.
I don't think season 2 and 3 are gonna be like season 1. I don't think it's going to be her ripping things out of someone's head again.
Possibly, yeah.
I think it is going to go more towards the finishing of the actual her story. And, taking it out into space, hunting down...
I would like it, but the trailer seemed very much like she's still on Earth a little bit.
Well, that could be because they're closing out the story.
Very true. She could be leaving in the first episode. Very true.
Because technically she does leave in the last episode. Well,
she kind of disappears a little bit because she's looking for the other being.
Well, he took off.
Yeah. He left. Yeah, he's gone. So
that was the whole reason why she was there, because she knew he was there.
She wanted that power for herself. Yeah, exactly. And he was like, deuce. See you.
Well, and that's another thing, because, a lot of people say that this is also her coming-to-age story. It's her life, coming to a close, and, she's trying to find love for herself, and she's trying to hunt down this thing she looks
she
admires and loves so much.
She might love that particular entity. I don't know. That's an interesting point.
Well, why chase it across the galaxy,
I think selfishly because she just wants the power.
Well, I think it's...
And she even admits, I want the power.
It's her representation of,
maybe.
what she wants in life.
Yeah, very true.
And she could be lost. It could be misled. because
it's all interpretation.
It is
for
a
sure.
power or a love or something like
Very
something
true,
that
'cause
personifies that what she feels.
You're right, because
and what she
power
wants.
can be love.
Yeah,
Very much
for sure.
Very much so. And it's interesting. I want to see how people take that. In my opinion, I didn't take it. I take it that she's actually a lot more evil than is led on to be.
Crazy.
Because she was going to sacrifice...
That would be nuts.
You know, slight spoiler, but she was going to sacrifice the world just for her
Oh,
power.
yeah. I mean...
She didn't care. And then,
but that also goes with who she is. Like, she's not from here. Why would she care about all these people?
Yeah,
you know?
very true.
Like, even though Naruto is the coolest thing she's
And technically, she kind of, it's kind of interesting they kind of just overlooked the whole thing, but she kind of murders his dad.
Yeah, that is kind of weird.
She
I don't really know
killed
how,
her dad.
Like
her
those
dad.
couple episodes in the middle, like episode 3 and 4 are kind of like real crazy.
Yeah, it's like what, and they're okay with it. Like he's okay.
I don't think he's okay with it.
They go back to normal eating dinner and stuff. It's weird.
It is weird. You're right.
It's weird.
It is really
and
weird.
he gets framed for it.
It's
I heard in the manga it's a lot more different. She's much more upfront about killing him.
I actually haven't read this manga. This is one of the very few.
I haven't, but I did some research before we did this.
I should probably see if I can find it.
It's
probably only a volume, anyways.
It'd be probably hard to, it might be hard to find. Maybe we gotta check.
I'll go to Books A Million and Barnes and Noble.
Yeah, we gotta check a con. Maybe.
True.
We'll go to, we chat out going to conventions. We're probably going to go to AFO this year. Let's go to AFO.
That's not for a while.
It's like 3 months. 2 months. Yeah, 2 months. Maybe 3 months. I don't know. We should go to AFO.
Well, I don't know. It was a lot longer than that.
But it's very interesting. Let's talk about the metaphor now. Like, what's the metaphor of the whole show, at least in my opinion?
It's one of the one of
the big one. It's the main one, I would say.
But it's... yeah, but it's mostly about getting Takun.
No, that's his name. You can call him.
It's about getting Nazuko to swing the bat, to get him to grow up, to get him to accept responsibility.
Yes.
To
take a chance.
Yeah, take a chance. Pretty much.
Take a chance, like swing the damn bat.
Yeah.
And a lot of it has to do with his brother. He doesn't want to be related to his brother and stuff. I
like how they kind of flash it back to like. They show him standing there, like at the batter's box, and taking the pitches.
Yes,
like taking the good ones too, and like you need to swing, bro. Like, you're not gonna nothing's ever gonna change.
But I like that at the end of the episode where he finally does, the end of episode 6, he finally swings the bat.
Well, yeah, he doesn't just swing the bat; he knocks the ball in the park, bro. He does. He finally grows up enough to where he realizes he needs to take a chance, because this is going He realizes that if he doesn't do it now, he's not going to get the opportunity to. So, that whole thing comes to a close. The ball's coming to him, and it's real nice and slow, looks nice and juicy, and then all of a sudden, it flashes back, between them two, and then you see it swing the bat, and you're like, oh my god, he finally swung.
For me, that hit me the most, because I feel like that is what this true story, at least for Nato's arc.
His. Because, like I said...
It's about taking that
There's
chance.
more than one story.
There is. There's 3 or 4.
Yeah. And...
everybody has their own little arc.
His kind of comes to the most closure.
So what do you think Haruko's arc is, then?
God knows, bro. We're getting 2 seasons because of her.
Yeah, probably. They're both going to be 6 episodes as well. So
her story is the hardest to explain, because... even though you think you know a decent amount about her,
you know
absolutely nothing about her. You know nothing. You know absolutely nothing.
So, it's a really fun, interesting anime, and
it does. We'll to get away from the story and the characters and everything.
That's the characters we really want to touch upon. For sure, they're the 3 best, probably.
When it comes to art styles in anime, this one it has so many different art styles to begin with. In the show itself, going from the classic anime look to something that's a little more flashy, very colorful.
Yeah,
at times,
and then some that is very traditional manga, where they make fun of it in
their
own episode.
It's hilarious.
We're running out of money, so we had to go to the traditional.
They did a South Park out of it.
It's
real funny.
It's really funny.
The bushy brow guy is one of my favorite characters, and just in that episode alone, the way he's set up as a South Park character, like a
He
South Park
totally
animated
looks
character.
like a South
He
Park,
looks like he fits in the South Park universe.
Yeah, and it's funny. And they actually mock, like, they actually parody South Park a little bit, like, for a little bit of that episode. It's really fun.
You kind of tell they kind of
appreciate
draw a lot of inspirations from everywhere.
Yeah.
But they tried to do it, like, it fits with the show.
Yeah.
The show's so chaotic, like, it doesn't really have a certain streamline to it.
I agree.
It branches off in so many different ways.
Even though there is a little bit of a thread you kind of try to follow, but it's chaotic.
It branches out so
but
many
in the
different
right
ways.
way. It's in the right way. Like, that's why I think a lot of people like the show, because you're like, oh shit, like, did that really happen?
Well,
or what's going on?
Even if you can't follow the story, like, what happens during the anime is fun. Like, the fight scenes are fun. What little you catch of stories is, relatable.
Yes, yeah.
So it is. It's not an anime that's easy to dislike.
Yeah, it balances a lot of things together in the right way. You learn a lot of different things. Whether it's a real life thing, a chaotic thing, an action thing. Like, they kind of meld it all in a single episode really well. Like, really interesting. Well,
and if you want,
same thing with art styles.
You put the cherry on top of it. Between the chaoticness of what the anime actually gives you on an episode basis, and the art styles that they toss in throughout the 30 minutes of each show, the soundtrack is like, it's almost like the cherry on top, because very, very few animes actually fit music well into the show.
Yes.
This one does it almost seamlessly. It's like perfect.
Yeah, like, a lot of the show can almost be seen as a music video and a lot of stuff. And I do apologize. I think some of you have pointed out that we don't talk about, the music enough.
We don't.
And and you're right, and I forget, like, but Chad is absolutely right.
But it has music, to me, is something that sticks out. Like, what we talked about 2 weeks ago, I don't remember much of the music in that show. Mostly just because the thing that stuck out to me most with Akame ga Kill was the brutal deaths.
Well, not
just the music in it.
Well, not just like the music in the show, like the opening and ending. A lot of people want to know about.
Same thing.
A lot of people want to know, like, what our opinion is, like,
what
opinion,
we think, just what we think about it.
What do you think about it? But I agree with Chad 100%. Like, the Pillows, the Japanese band they're coming back to do season 2 and 3. The music and the music video, like, aspect of some of the episodes, almost every episode, is handled really professionally, that you feel like it is a music video. Yeah. And they're really grungy, punky, and I like it a lot.
It's almost like the anime was done, and then they literally gave the show to the Pillows, and were like, look, can you fill it with music?
Yeah.
And, I mean, punk music in an anime, man.
Yeah.
It's like...
And it's really interesting because, a lot of people don't think of the music and the right stuff. Like, they just think that, the music... The opening and ending is made specifically for that show. Like, these are, like, legit artists, like, in Japan, that it's a big deal for them to get that opportunity to put their song in the show.
It's a really big deal to put any music from any artist over.
But you're right.
In any anime.
But you're right. They kind of really had the soundtrack. They were given the keys to put, like, all their music in the show. And it just fit really well. It was a good match.
Yeah.
It was a really good...
ties all the problems and all the situations, like... In the first episode, even, like, with the intro song, like, kicking it in, the heavy riff, like, it pulls you in, like, immediately, and you want to, like, continue.
And, Haruka, she actually has a bass, so it's...
Oh, yeah, it fits.
It fits totally. The whole scheme of the...
This is the coolest anime weapon ever, by the way.
And she actually pulls out other guitars, too, like a Gibson Flying V and a few others. It was really cool, which I like rock a lot.
One episode she actually does just use a bat?
I think so, yes. Yeah, she does, yeah. I think she just uses a bat. Because we just rewatched it again, like, a couple days ago.
Or the one where, I think it's when the bushy eyebrow guy comes back, or you see him for the first time, and they get into that huge gunfight.
Yes!
And she's just sitting there, like, strumming the guitar, shooting the bullets back at him. This shit was awesome.
It was awesome. It was really fun. It reminds me of the great music in another anime that we'll talk about in another anime time, hopefully sometime, if Chad could ever finish it. But it's an older anime, but it's called Beck Mongolian Chop Squad. So,
that's what you're talking about.
But
Outlaw has a lot of good music too.
Outlaw definitely does too, and it's my favorite all the time. So I do want to talk about that. But the next one we'll talk about will probably be, hopefully, I won't say yet, but it's about video games. Hopefully,
maybe
it's really short.
It's short. It's short enough to where I might be able to catch up onto it and catch something about it, and we might be able to talk about it here in a couple weeks.
Yeah,
we might do like a fun episode. Like I thought this one was gonna be a lot of fun. This one is a lot of fun.
It is a lot of fun.
Just because of how, like we said, we can say it a zillion times. It's a mess. Like.
yeah.
They're trying to understand and trying to pick things out, and what we see is not going to be what you see.
Yeah.
Like
so, be gentle in the comics. Don't rip
you can't rip anybody for having an opinion.
It's all your own. It's all your own perspective. And tell us what you guys take out of it. Was there anything else you wanted to add on Fooly Cooly, or do you want to wrap it up here? Because we talked about probably the best aspects of it. Was there one thing you wanted to hit on before we get out of here?
I was trying to think of my favorite scene from the show.
Probably mine is the first time the medical robot guy, I forgot what they call him.
I don't remember.
I forgot his name, but when he eats Toskun for the first time and turns into
the cannon
and just...
Well, okay, we can talk about that for a second because...
Yeah.
Naruto kind of thinks that he is the one who is the robot. When he's the ammunition.
Yeah,
he's the power for what he is.
Yes, exactly. He's
and he kind of thinks of it as the other way.
Mm-hmm.
And that clash of like how that plays out.
That could be
funny.
It is really funny, but it could also be hard to accept.
Because, it is. It really
for
is.
him.
It was kind of hard to tell that was even happening to begin with, but no, but besides that, like this, have fun with this, man.
Yeah,
because
enjoy the show.
If you like binge watching shows, 3 hours. Like you got 3 hours of your time. This is probably the best 3 hours you're gonna spend watching a cartoon.
It'll probably be one of these shows that you just hit next on, like right away, just boom. You're fine, you're right. But we'll wrap it up here. We did 30 minutes, probably our shortest anime time. Which anime time is supposed to be short anyway.
We can make it a little longer. Since we don't touch about music that often, we can kind of go back and throw out our opinions of the other ones we've done so far, if you want.
Okay. You like,
out of all the shows
I'm trying to remember what other shows.
Out of all the shows we've talked about so far,
do you remember? Is it Gamega Kill?
Food Wars probably has the best music as far as going through it, especially with the intros.
And guys, we know there's a season 3. We'll talk about it some other time. Yeah. We're gonna wait till it's finished. Yeah, I think
because even though there is a season 3, like I'm way past that. I read the manga. That's one of the very few I actually keep up with.
I'm so hyped. Like when I found out, I like texted him like immediately, and he was like, "Yeah, I already know."
Dragon Ball. I mean, their music is what it is.
That was our first episode.
There's really nothing special about it. Seven Deadly Sins doesn't really have that many memorable.
I like the second opening.
The intros are nice.
The second opening of Seven Deadly Sins is probably one of my favorites of all time. I love that. I like that Japanese band.
I don't know them.
And I like that intro because it fits a lot with season the second half of that season, where it's a lot more lighthearted in some ways, and I like that a lot. And it's the punk rock I kind of like, so that's why I like it a lot. Well, I'm a little biased, but I enjoy the second opening a lot. Season 2 finally got a release date. I don't know if you saw on my Facebook.
I didn't.
I think January 6th. So really soon. Really soon. We talked about Gamega Kill. I do like the opening. I like both openings and both endings to that show. They fit the show really well. I don't know if they are my type of cup of tea though.
Yeah.
I do like the opening guitar riff though.
I haven't downloaded
the first one.
Spotify, though.
The first opening of Gamega Kill, it fits really well with the show, and the tone of the show.
Yeah, sure.
Very very much well. Are we missing any other anime titles?
I don't remember any music from Zoids, bro. That was way too long ago to kind of like think about.
I don't think they really had anything, but to be honest, that was probably the only show that really didn't have a good soundtrack at all. Was Zoids probably. Probably, as much as I love Zoids and I will fight for it, but you're right, I don't remember a damn thing about that.
Even when we were discussing it, like we dug deep into our brains for we were pulling nuggets out.
Yeah.
And, even 10 minutes before I got here, we were talking about man, the only thing I can remember right now is the dude's name.
Because Zoids has a lot of different shows as well, so. But we really appreciate you guys. You know, Anime Time's a fun little show that Chad and I decided to do, and we're having a good time. I'm glad it's back on, and you guys seem to miss it. We missed you guys too. I know you see a lot more of me than you do of Chad, but he's
I don't do reaction videos every other.
It's been a nice streak of them too, and you guys seem to really like it. But we appreciate all the love and support. It really means a lot to both of us.
Get on him about finishing Evil Within 2, please.
You will see
love to talk about that game, but this guy refuses to finish. He's like, I gotta finish the first one. No, you don't. It doesn't even that makes a difference.
For me, it does because there's a lot of.
Bro, I'm telling you right now, finish the first one before DLC comes out for Evil Within 2, and then maybe you'll get some closure out of those specific things. Finish this game because none of the twists from 1 get resolved in 2.
Okay, interesting. Also, with Xenoblade Chronicles 2, Chad and I will probably do our thoughts on...
at least.
What?
I was talking about Evil Within again.
Yeah, but Chad and I will probably do our thoughts like halfway through the game, and then we'll do our final thoughts.
Well, that's still a couple weeks away, too.
We got a little bit while, but people want to know...
When does that come out? December 7th?
Yeah, I think you're right. December 7th, so... Chad and I are very excited to play that game.
Get my Switch next week.
We're gonna definitely try it. We're definitely gonna play that game, and I think we'll really like Xenoblade Chronicles too.
Skyrim looks surprisingly good on the Switch.
It does. It actually runs really smooth.
I'm so sad about it because I'm like, oh man, it'd be so nice to go back and just put 300 hours into Skyrim. And I'm like, no,
probably not the best choice.
I would never do that again.
Probably not the best choice, but Skyrim's amazing. And you guys liked our last podcast together as well. We talked a lot about different games, sports. I know most of you...
We'll probably do another one of those.
We'll probably do. You know, podcast is always really, really fun. The Golden Gun Friends podcast. We appreciate your guys' time. Tell us down below what animes you're watching right now, what animes we need to watch. But I do definitely have a few in mind that I really want him to watch because I really want to talk about one anime in particular.
If you guys happen to like the shirt I am wearing...
I'll put the link down below, too.
Hit up JG Creations with a Z at the end of Creations at Instagram. My buddy Jordan makes a whole bunch of different shirts, designs. He does artwork, everything. You can go check out his stuff, and like I said, it's a nice shirt. I really like it. That's why I drove all 40 minutes to go pick this thing up.
Yeah,
40 minutes to go pick up some shirts.
So you'll see, we'll have Jordan's link in the bottom below, and we'll also have the links and the Instagrams and everything for that the comic book place that you guys need to check out. So thank you guys so much. Your fellow Straussman, the GG, the Golden God himself, with his bro Chad. We're outie.